welcome you all in here tonight. I'm just gonna kind of go over what's coming in the next couple of days here for the community for RGC. We finally, I feel good where I can do an official release, basically pretty much for everything. We've been working real hard to get to this point. We've done a lot of optimizations, done a lot of changes, which I'm going to go over in the next 20 to 30 minutes. Hopefully I get it all covered quickly. I'm going to kind of show you guys some things in this video, and hopefully kind of get you a better understanding of how everything is working. So basically, a couple weeks ago, Echelon, he mentioned to me that it'd be a good idea to be able to play on other maps besides the Yukon and Meadow Springs and Roros Valley, and be able to enjoy gold mining and all the productions that we've put together for these maps. At first, I was like, I kind of want people to want to play my maps. I don't really want them going anywhere else. I think my maps are the best, right? But I thought about it. It made sense. You know what I mean? It's better for the whole community as a whole. You're going to get tired of the same thing, right? The same map. I try to diverse the map to cover everybody, right? So if you're different game styles, I try to cover all bases. With the maps, with the 16 times, you get Meadow Springs, where it's more of a hardcore style Yukon. That stuff built into it for you. You know, you can be a beginner and play and be successful, or you can be hardcore with Yukon and find a land and plow your own. You know, I try to cover all skill levels. Roros is a good starter map too. Smaller, the better performance if you're into that with the lower NPCs. But anyway, you may want to try another map, and you'll be able to now, because I took basically all the productions out of the maps and put it into one mod pack. This also allows me to have less updates, right? So if I'm trying to update a production, I change one thing in XML for speed, whatever, I got to go through all the maps and update every single map because it's built into the map, right? Now with the mod pack, that eliminates that. I just update it once, update the mod pack. You guys don't need a new save. The things will change, and voila. So there was many reasons why it was a good idea, but it was a lot of work to do so, because we had to strip everything out, make sure everything was right, no duplicates, you know, textures lining up for the new pack, and it took a while. Echelon did the kind of Lua scripting for it. It was kind of a simple little small Lua script that allows you to run the fill types through a separate mod for the map. And he also went through and stripped it out for me while I worked on other things. So definitely a big thanks to him for, you know, helping with that for sure. So yeah, everything now is in the mod pack. It's the same, basically all the productions that were there before, no different. I did update some textures, like the stream pay here has a little bit more high definition texture, a little bit better. There's a few other ones. Dirt got a good texture change during this process. Sand, concrete, you'll notice it all looks somewhat similar, but a little bit better overall. That was part of this. A couple weeks getting those in there as well. We have added in a few new productions as well. Another streamer that I've been following that's been playing on the Yukon, great community. Deadman Strolling, sorry, DMS Nation. He's been streaming the map and playing on it, and we were talking in one of his streams, and he said it'd be cool to have like a little strip club for the town, because you're in a Yukon, almost every gold rush era town had like a brothel or some type of club, right? So yeah, then me and Echelon kind of thought of some things, and Psycho Styles, he helped out with some of the graphics for it, and we put together a nice little strip club, so DMS can enjoy that in his town. Let me show you that right now. if you're fairly new to everything too, we also added a new tab, so it's a lot easier to single out any of our productions. Hit Shift P if you're in like this. This is a quick way to get to this. Shift P. This right here, DMS. Nice little strip club here. This we had to add in a new fill type to get this to work. So there's now money that's in the map. So this right here, you need to bring the liquor, basically the whiskey here, and over time you produce bags of money. Then you can sell the bags of money to the sell stations. Eventually we're going to add a bank and kind of make that into a thing where you need to place a bank and bring it money from there, and also gold. So all your gold bars will only be able to be sold at the banks instead of all the other places. That makes sense. That will come later on, but since we have a separate RGC pack, I can just simply update the pack. You guys re-download it, boom, you have your production for a bank, and now you have to worry about the map. So good deal there. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna talk mostly about the oil production, because this is fairly new. I talked to a little bit more about it in the stream I done recently. I did do a stream for a couple hours and we went over the oil production, but I'm gonna go over it real quick first. Let you guys see this change. You notice that this steel factory real quick is not here now. I took that out for a few reasons. We'd got a new model, so to speak, a little bit more details, and it wasn't lining up correctly. So now you have to manually place your steel factory there. But let's get into this oil production. Alright, so oil production now. Before you would just have an oil derrick, and that would have the pumps built right into it, right? You just place it down, the oil derrick be next to your pumps. That's not necessarily realistic, right? Because you're gonna drill first, then cap it, and then put your pump on top to get your oil. So what I decided to do is separate the derrick from the pump. So now you can place your derrick like so, and I've added in water as an input. I've added in diesel, so it's a little bit more work to get the derricks running. You still need your pipe and your concrete and steel. So you're gonna need a steel factory. In order to get your steel factory going, you need your dirt processor to get the ore to build your pipes. So this is quite a process to get to this point. But that being said, I got those separated, and I've also added in 2 new outputs. In order for me to make it so you have to lay down your oil derricks before pumping, I had to make it something that you get out of this that can go into the pumps, if that makes any sense at all there. So in order to do that, I had to figure out what would that be. You know what I mean? What could I get out of a derrick to go into the pump? That's really nothing, because you get rid of your derrick, put your pump on top of it. So I came up with the idea to add in a distributed only output, almost like electricity, kind of in a sense. So this is going to produce mud in these containers here. So over time you're going to drill these, containers are going to fill up. Yes, you're going to see the fill planes filling up as you're going. You need to recycle that basically, so you need to get rid of it. I do need to update the debris crusher basically, so you can dump it there. But for now, you're just gonna have to store it somewhere basically. There is ways to eliminate it, but I'm not going to go there. It's kind of realistic. You just fill up your mud and ship it out, clean it up, make sure you're producing and not overflowing your mud, right? But it's also going to produce what I call pump. It's a distributing only fill type. So what you're going to do is, when you're in this user interface, you're going to look down here, go in products, you're going to change your pump to you want it to be distributing. So this is going to distribute out from here at the top of every hour and go into a factory or production that allows pump. So what you're going to do is, in order to get your pumps working, you need to have a derrick running, right? So let's place a pump here. This is just, obviously you're gonna want to reenact this to have it right on top of this spot here. But what you can do is just say place it close by for now, right? Just place it right here. Obviously the trains don't line up correctly, but that's fine. Now while this is running, it's going to distribute all that into there, your pump, and then you can sell this off. Right, so you got your pump in there, right? So it can run for a little bit. But now, in order to keep that running, you have to build another derrick. But you can just kind of reenact it and build another one, right? Oh, let's put another one down here. Or you can just do 2 at a time, right? And while both of these are running, that will be getting more and more, pump to run it. So you have to have derricks in order to run your pumps. That's my main goal. This one here is designed without a derrick. It's exactly the same thing as this, except for there's no derrick. Roughneck crew have designed basically a oil derrick that you can put together. So I kind of designed this off from what they had. You can bring your oil derrick, piece it together, set it all up, and then just place these triggers down. And these triggers will be the same thing as these triggers for the derrick. I mean, you need to bring your steel in order to keep your derrick running to produce the outputs to run that. So yeah, that's hopefully kind of explains how the oil production works. Once you get your pump going, and you need diesel to run that, so you're gonna need some pipe to run pipe, right, to keep that going, to maintain it. It's very little input to keep going, but basically mostly pipe. I think, yeah, you need concrete too, just for the casings and things like that. But once you make one load of that stuff there, it should run for a long time. Basically, you're gonna produce a lot of crude. Then your crude, then it can be moved to your refinery and refined into kerosene and diesel. So yeah, just want to explain that. Gonna go over the rest of these real quick. Wash plant. Get your wash plant, set that up to run pay dirt. Wash room, you take a concentrate from the wash plant, wash that up into gold flakes. You need to have diesel to run that. This is a smelter. Inside there you see a little smelting station. Bring those gold flakes from the washroom over there into that to make your gold bars, and you can bring your gold bars to a sell point. This is for a more portable setup. So if you're just starting out and you want to make some gold, you have a smelter that you can lay down. It takes a little bit longer to smelt things and less of a capacity, so you can overflow it pretty easily. Basically, it's slower. And you can set up a small sluice, and this is actually direct stream pay. There's some stream pay that's located in the streams I showed you guys at the beginning, where you just load it up with stream pay and you get your gold flakes right directly. So because you basically, when you use these, you're cleaning out the sluices as you go, and you're gonna get flakes. So that's the process. You don't get as much for what you run as a big wash plant. It takes a little longer, but it's definitely a great thing to start out with. Strip club, you already seen it. Dirt processor. Basically, I gotta change that trigger there for some reason. Don't really need to change it, but it should be more centered so you can see where you're placing it. Yeah, this is where you process your dirt into sand, pea stone, gravel. Maybe it's pea stone. Whatever. But the biggest ingredient that you're getting out of this is ore, because ore is going to go into your steel factory. But you also get sand out of this, and tailings, and gravel or pea stone, whatever those are. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but which can also be used for concrete, cement, and all that good stuff. So, dirt processor, need to have that running to do other things. River sand, get your river sand processed. and your regular sand, some other gravels, either pea stone or tailings, I can't remember again. These icons I wish were a little bit bigger so you actually can see what's written there. Concrete factory, just kind of read the inputs there. Pretty simple, straightforward stuff. To get your concrete, you're gonna do cement. Need cement going to get the concrete. You can do your brick factory. Lime, that's simple limestone to make lime. Whiskey, that's what you need to be running to supply the strip club, right? The steel factory. Don't have enough money to place it, but this got some new textures overhaul. Maybe I should place this real quick to show you guys. So I want to say a shout out to Johans. He's the one that kind of bought some of these models. McGee, I believe, touched up on them. I kind of took that, kind of finished it off. A little bit of a different siding. We got some doors. A new spot for your product here. Coal still goes out here in the blast furnace area, so you still need to put your coal out here. But inside was where your ore, your sand for casings. And there's another input too that goes with it. Maybe I should just take a look. Limestone, coke, coal, and sand. So it's 4 inputs to get your steel and pipe. Limestone is used in China. That's where I got that from. For the steel, I don't know exactly what. 4, I just saw it, so I was like, no, let's just make it a little harder. Sand, they use that for casings and forms and things like that for the steel. Iron, obviously, and a coke, coal to run the furnace. Getting close to the 20-minute mark already. Alright, so steel, this is all the oil, I went over that already. This is the coking factory, so where you bring your coal to produce that coking coal. Coke coal is a little bit easier to burn coal, I guess not easier, but higher efficiency basically. Spinnery, we've added these in for the new fruit types that are coming, that are there. So hemp and lavender. You can bale it and bring it here to produce a fabric. So this is why that's been added in, along with the cotton and the wool. To make fabric, you can use the hemp and lavender. Oil mill, so we can produce oils, hemp oil and lavender oil, along with the sunflower and olive and canola, right? Stone factory, basically take your stones and produce stone dust, stone powder, basically, and some I think they gravel. Just another way to produce another material to run, say, the cement. You need the stone dust or stone powder to run cement, so we need that running. Asphalt is probably the hardest thing to produce. You need a lot of products. Let's just take a quick look at this. Yeah, I can't even fit it all on the screen here, but basically sand, pea stone, tar, gravel, stone powder, tailings, and then coke coal. Quite the process to get asphalt, but you're going to be rewarded. One thing I did forget to mention with the coking factory, it also produces tar. So you will get tar from your coking process, basically, which is cool because that's actually realistic to do. But you can see just by what I've gone over here, it took me 20 minutes to explain all this. It's plenty to do, and everything's kind of connected together. That's why, like, you know, like if you want to produce your gold, you gotta actually put the paint in and wash it. You gotta take the fines, concentrate, and wash that down to get the flakes out. Now, this is all just fairly realistic to real life what they do. Once you get your gold flakes, they typically will smelt it, right? To get their gold bars. Either they have somebody do it for them or they do it themselves. I've actually kind of get influenced by all this through watching Gold Rush, and Parker has done his own smelting before. In one of the episodes he had this basically the same kind of setup. Obviously it looked a little bit better, right? But he'd smelted it right there. It's kind of cool to see that. And also having this little sluice, you see that in real life too, people setting up sluice on streams or running pay dirt through it. It's a pretty cool little setup. But everything works with each other. The dirt processor, you need to run that to get your materials, to run cement, and need cement to run the concrete. So let's get you guys an idea of how all this works together. Kind of the end game thing is to get, for me, is to get the oil refinery running to produce diesel and kerosene. It sells for pretty good, and to get that material all the way to that process, it's just a lot of work. Your pump needs to be running, your derricks need to be going, you need the steel, you need the pipe, you need the concrete, all to run those. So it's quite a rewarding process, for sure. I'm just going to touch base off this dredge here. So this dredge is pretty much like Tony Beats' dredge. So when you place it, it kind of sets a little circle in the pond. You can obviously add on to this pond if you like. You can't directly terraform in there, so there's little ways you can do it to get away with it. Obviously you can terraform it first, get it close to how you want it, run streams, run whatever on the outskirts. But this is just set it and forget it. I tried to reenact how it works in real life. Obviously it moves and it produces, it takes 1 or 2 people to run these things, but it's very low cost. So I figured I'd just make it so placeable, you place it, and then you're going to collect 120,000 a month. So if you set it to 1 day months, you're going to get 120,000 at every midnight. Just to have that place. It's going to cost you a lot of money for it, but you'll get paid over time. And it just sits there. It's kind of like a decoration that gives you money. That's kind of what my idea is on that. Maybe eventually I will make it a movable vehicle, but that's how she is for now. Some other things to keep in mind with what you can do with RGC. This is basically every map. So every map, even let's say the base game maps, if you were to have RGC mod packs, you'll be able to place and do all this. Even the fill types will be in there. The pay dirt, the concentrate pallets. Everything's going to be in base game. I'll actually open it up and show you that a little bit. But I'm going to go over the painting real quick. Some new painting textures so you can paint a road. Just going to give you a quick tutorial on that. You're going to paint your asphalt down. Okay, and then you're going to, so you want to do a center line. You want to set your paint to a small square, because if you go too big, it's going to paint more than one yellow line, right? So see how it went over too far and it painted another yellow line, which is fine. You can touch it up after with the other stuff. But this will show you guys how to kind of set up your road here. You get that, and then you can do your white line on the side. Again, you don't want to make your cursor too big because it's a line. See how it makes 2 lines if you're not careful? It's a 16 times map, so the textures are a little bit stretched, so it's harder to kind of make these. Alright, so we can go bigger. But you get the idea. Start out with asphalt, paint your yellow, paint your sidelines if you want them, you don't need them, or you can just paint away. See how you do passing lines there? Touch it up after. Bada bing. Real quick, we got blacktop, some coal, so you can paint your coal mines and kind of decorate the ground. Get the dirt, dirt dark, kind of mixture of dirt and dark dirt together. The forest needles, that's all the This is a new texture for forest grass. You can mix the grass in with the needles. Pretty neat. Or a little darker color, or different kinds of rocks, and you can paint in water puddles. Yay, right? Where did I do all that? Water puddles really nice to paint your streams with. Alright, then landscaping, you go to plants, and we've added in a bunch of plants for you as well. Paint grass, low grass, so it looks like the grass has been cut, kind of. Do a higher grass, different type of grass in in-game. This is in-game grass, you see the difference. Just different types of weeds, flowery weeds, pink, got some red looking stuff. Some big branches for your loggers, some smaller branches for your loggers. Some mushrooms in the woods. Can't see them until you get close. See how they decorate your forest ground with that. Some cover foliage. Get the idea. All kinds of stuff to paint. My favorite is this one right here. This is great for your streams. If you want some rocks for your stream, you can kind of paint it in like that. Go into your painting, go to your water texture. Oh, it deletes it, but let's put this down first. There. Kind of has a wet, nice, watery look underneath. Looks great. Look at that, the red and the pinks. And it's not even a brook, it looks nice. Alright, so that's basically it for the factories and the landscaping stuff. Painting and the plants. But we have sell points, so you get log sell point, you need that. This is that debris crusher can sell all your basic materials on the map. A sell point for basically everything in the map, farmer's market. And a biomass, so your lavender and the hemp that's been added, along with all your grass and bales and everything can be sold with that. Silos, this silo here is meant for, you can place it in the middle of the land somewhere, but the best benefit is this long little chute here that if you place along a river, along the Yukon there, this overhangs the water, you can drive your barge up underneath. And there's an empty spot there and there's a fill, so along with this side you can drive in and fill it up in there and load it out here if you want. The Yukon already has them built in to the map. As you can see here, this is the same deal. That's how you would like to place it. Fill up, go to town. So that's the silos. We got these bunker silos added in too, which takes the clover and alfalfa chaff. Basically, you can mow it, collect it, and bring it in here and turn it into silage. You can't use the base game bunkers to create silage. You have to use these here with the alfalfa and clover. Containers, this right here is basically a gas station set up the same way. You place it, drive up to a trigger, and buy gas or diesel. This container, you can buy the diesel from the sell point, the buy trigger on here, and it fills a container. It holds 1 million liters. The trigger also empties a lot faster too, but or you can, once you get your refinery going, you can place these around and use this for storage areas. And don't even need to buy the stuff. That makes sense. This is a buy station. Most of the product that's in the map is in here. I just use this for fertilizer and lime. I just buy it directly. Yeah, it's the only way that you can really get fertilizer unless you buy pallets of it. It's way more efficient, quicker way to do it using that. Fencing. I've set up a little pipeline that you can just kind of place like a fence. Pretty neat to decorate your oil production areas. And now others. Others is basically all kinds of objects for decorating. You need a bridge. We got you covered, right? You need a bigger bridge to get across these big, larger water areas. Obviously, you need to place more than one, right? If you want to get across the Yukon, but it can happen. These tunnels, same thing as these here. Place them down where you need it. Cover it with the road. An older looking derrick, so you can kind of set up your own little oil production if you want to use a factory derrick with no triggers like this. Place that down. Just gonna do it like that. Go into others, you can actually build your oil derrick. So that's right there. Let's place this right here. Boom. Now you can supply that. It makes it look like you're actually doing an oil derrick, and then you can just sell that when you're done and still keep that there, right? And place this near it. Make it look like it's actually producing. This right here is designed to line up with your fencing. I shouldn't have placed that first, but you get an idea. It's fairly close. How it goes right into it. Kind of reenacting a junction off of the pipeline, so you're filling it from whatever you're pumping out, right? This is a ramp for a barge, so you can drive onto a barge. Place this anywhere around the sides. Obviously, you need to do, if you're gonna do it like this, you're gonna have to do some terraforming to make it line up with the ground. But the trigger for it is right on top of the water, so it's at the perfect height for your barge to drive up next to it. Just keep that in mind. If you place it up higher, it's not going to work. Click on the water and make your land go up to it. It'll be good. Buoys, red and green for your mariners that can set your route, so you know green means one side, red means the other. Little lighthouse with no light, just decoration. Looks great. Just we need to work on a light. This is decorative, mainly just to spruce up your docking area. I may lower this down a little bit. We'll see, but it's mostly just decorative. Placeable town. Great little starter town. Plenty of buildings, plenty of spots to add production in there as well. A spot there, a spot there. And then you can build off from that to build your own town with a baseball field. Some signs that Sai put together. All kinds of signage, Things Rgc on it. I believe these came from Elk Modding, the model. Sai did a bunch of changes to the sign itself. He's also put together a few signs for around your production, so you know, so if you want to do an oil rig, some pretty cool little mining signs you can have. If you're doing a transport type thing, just pretty neat little stuff if you're farming, organics, whatever. Sawmill, strip club, decorative stuff. We got a mine shaft, so to speak. You can build a tunnel through a mountain. You just gotta kind of work with it here. Not sure if I can get over to a hillside. Let's say you wanted to go through here. For one, there's a train there, but I think you could. Yeah, it's a little bit lower. What you'd do is you'd first go through terraform, starting right there, directly straight back using the terraform tool, like a nice long strip out. So there's going to be no ceiling on it, right? It's going to be flat land starting there. Then you just place this in multiple times as you're going through the mountain along that path. So you'd have a nice little tunnel. Then you can spruce it up after with your rocks. You know, so it has a somewhat realistic look to it, right? Just doing this real quick as the train goes by. But you see what I mean. You can decorate that nice. There's other rocks other people have. And you put bushes around and make it look great. Different types of rocks you can use to kind of change up the way it looks. Placeable baseball field for your town. There's already a baseball field there, but if you want just the field itself by itself, boom. Some little oil stain textures, so around your production areas you want to add some oil stains, you can do that. It's a four-way intersection. Quick way, a lot of people just paint it in. All kinds of signs, I'm not going to go through all of them because this video is taking a lot longer, but getting some good information here. See the pictures, basically all kinds of signs. It's the left and the right, so you guys see it's different, right, left and right. Parking spaces are pretty neat. Just a stopping line, so you put a stop line there, put a stop sign at your intersections. But yeah, that's basically everything right there in the RGC mod pack. Factories, all your fill types are in there, but I'm gonna leave this game and show you that when you open up the base game map, you can do all that right in there. So I'm going to fire up Elm Creek. So this is a warning because I have my terrain density for Terraform set to a 16 times map. This is a normal size map. It doesn't hurt anything at all. It's just a warning saying this is not the right terrain size. It's fine. It is. It's all good. So Shift P, gonna bring up the RGC stuff. If I don't click on the house, and just like that, you're in another map and you're placing all the same objects. All right, that's cool and all, but what about the ground? How are we supposed to fill those things? Using Terraform. Use FS minus 950. I have Terraform in here. I gotta buy the land it's on too, I think. I have to go over here and dig, I think. I don't know how this works for these non-viable land stuff. But I'm gonna just lower it, see if I can dig right here. So my Terraform that I have set up just allows you to dig the stuff that you need. It doesn't go in crazy. There's only 6 things to choose from. It saves you from clicking on everything. So let's go to pay dirt. Just like that, you got pay dirt. This is the base game map. It doesn't have fill types in it. With RGC mod pack, boom, you got it. Any map you want to go to, this will be the case. I don't have access to this land, so it's not going to dump it out. But you can see pay dirt is in there, and I'm digging into the ground. Cool stuff. So yeah, basically I'm gonna post this video to the YouTube and make an announcement on my Discord. It's all going to be on the official channel, so official release channel. Yukon, Meadow, Roris Valley, and RGC mods are all going to be in there for that, for download. All going to be separate links to grab those from. So yeah, went a little bit longer than I wanted. 40-minute video. Hope you guys stuck around for the whole thing. Just want to thank the community. I want to thank Echelon and Psycho. I want to thank Steelcrafter for helping with testing. Echelon did some Lua coding for me. Sai did some graphics, things like that. I want to say shout out to DMS Nation, Deadman Strolling. Great community guys over there. Kind of influenced me to put together some new things for the map. It's a great community, the farm sim community. We're all on the right page. You know, nobody's get aggravated with one another over things. So it's great. Yeah, so take care, everybody. Thank you very much.